Welcome everybody to the GKA Kite World Cup here in Tarifa for the Tarifa Kite Pro 2019. I'm Josie Ashton. I'm sitting here with Pieper van Issel. Really good to have you here at the event, and what amazing conditions. Finally the wind has decided to start picking up. Looks like the thermals are coming in. So yeah, Pieper, welcome.
Thank you very much. It looks really good now. It's sunny and finally the wind picked up, so I can't wait to start.
Yeah, definitely. We're really happy. It's taken a little time to get up there, but the wind's starting to pick up. Looks like we have, you guys are out on 13-meter kites, and yeah, coming up right now, we're going to have on the water is heat number 1. We have Phil Larcher from France, also a local guy from here from Tarifa. Val Garat, he is the younger brother of Sebastian Garat. These guys have been ripping and really talented waterman family. Posito Martinez, the big air Dominican who just goes huge every single time. And then we have Adeudi Corniel, the RRD rider, the Black Panther. So as you can see, the beach is starting to get a little bit full here. The guys and girls are ready to see these guys rumble and see what the world's best can do here at the Tarifa location. So Pieper, you come to Tarifa quite a lot, you hang out here. What is Tarifa for you?
Tarifa for me is like my second home spot basically. My sister lives here and she introduced me to this spot, and since ever like my first time I came here, I keep come back and train here. It's really good for training too.
Yeah, definitely. I think Tarifa it's the European mecca for kiting. It's probably one of the busiest places in the world in the summer, and it's really good because you have all the different wind conditions. It's a very kite-orientated country and a very kite-orientated town, and it's really good to see so many different different age groups, all the groms, all the girls pushing the sport. And yeah, it's great to have all of you guys and girls here at my hometown. So yeah, great to have you.
Thank you very much.
So it looks like the guys on the water are, preparing. Look, I can see Juan Antonio, our race director, making sure conditions are suitable. Still a little bit light at the moment. We probably have about 15 knots. You can see some 13-meter and 12-meter kites up there. Obviously, until conditions are 100% suitable, we won't be getting this one on a roll, but we are very close, and it's great to see the start of the event very imminently right now. So Pieper, a little bit of info. You just came back from Gran Canaria a few weeks ago, had a competition there. Unfortunately, we weren't able to finish the men's bracket, but the girls' bracket we definitely did. Conditions were light, pretty similar to this. It was really impressive to see how the guys and the girls were competing in these conditions. Is that hard when it's so light?
Yeah, well, it's super hard when it's really light because I prefer to have strong wind and go big in the strong wind because I love to loop and I love to go big in my handle passes. But for sure, it's a good way to end the competition. If it's light wind, it's better to have a result than no result. But yeah, it's a whole kind of different technique you use when it's light wind. And yeah, I'm not really used to big kites, but now I'm more used to it and I train more in light wind since Gran Canaria. So here I have to use that as well because the upcoming days is looking light as well, but hope to be good on 11 or 9.
I definitely think you will be. I've been watching you kite recently. Like you say, you definitely like the loops. As soon as there's a lot of wind, you're going big. And it'll be interesting to see if forecast is a little light at the moment, but it looks like during the middle of the event, hopefully we'll have some 9-meter weather. A thing about this event, it's that open format that we've been talking throughout the year, where basically if conditions do get suitable to add in those big air maneuvers, Mallory Villamark, our head judge, will add 2 big air maneuvers into the 6 or 7 attempts that you have. And you're one of the riders, like you say, you like going big. How do you feel about this, let's say, more complete format that we're trying to push since the beginning of this year?
It really fits my riding, and I'm really happy that we do a mixed event because now I can show people that we're not only are able to do freestyle, but we are also able to do loops and go big on the water. And on a regular session, you do the same. If it's 25 knots, you do freestyle, or if it's 20 knots. And as soon as the wind picks up, we do big air as well. And I think every freestyler does do that. So yeah, like this, why not mixing it and make a competition out of it? So I think it's a really good step for for us to make it a mixed event. And I'm really happy with it because I love to do loops and I can train that as well.
I can see the smile on your face. You definitely want some strong wind. I think, yeah, that complete format is the expression of what the kiteboarding and kite surfing is of a sport. If it's lighter wind, you guys are going for the more wake style, freestyle orientated tricks, and then as the wind picks up, kiting, we like to fly. It's why a lot of us started to do this sport, to touch the birds and touch the sky and be able to see those maneuvers. So I think it's a great way to see the tour also involving a complete aspect of the sport, and I think everybody's going to be enjoying it here on the beach, and definitely you guys are there on the screen and back at home. So we hope you like this Tarifa Kite Pro here 2019. Yeah. So I'm just going to check a few of the details we have here. We can see the guys on the shore. You can see them getting ready, making sure they're, we have this format. So at the moment, every rider has 6 trick attempts and the top 4 count. So people, they have a minute to do each maneuver, so you can either go out, do it straight away, or have a couple attacks to find that sweet spot. Obviously in light winds, we do know the judges are a little bit more lenient. They do give a little bit more margin because we understand if it's light, it might go into a minute and a half, but as soon as the conditions start pumping, that minute is to the dot, because if not, the judges were explaining to us, if you don't perform your trick inside that minute, it's a crash. Is that right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think it's good to do that because otherwise people get so many tags and you don't have a really consistent rule for it. You know what I mean? Like to one rider you can say, yeah, but you had time, and the other rider says, yeah, no, but it's flexible, So you have to get 1 minute and do your trick, and then if you do it without this minute, or if they see you really don't have wind, then of course they're more flexible. But if you have wind and you have pressure, then you have to do your trick within a minute, and I think it works.
Yeah, definitely. I mean that nice pressure it makes you. I guess the adrenaline gets pumping. You can feel the pressure, get the people, get the blood rolled in, and all the gears clicking. It's a nice sensation, and as soon as you hear that first buzzer, everything just comes together, and you just go for it full power.
Yeah, exactly. When you see that timer is going down, you're I like to do the trick straight away because I'm focused, and because otherwise I'm looking too much to the time. I'm oh shit, I see the countdown already at 30 seconds. But if you do it straight away, it's okay, then it's fine, you're clear.
You're whew, I landed it. So definitely, I mean, you've been competing for quite a while now, people, and you are definitely one of the heavy hitters for the, pushing the envelope of women kiteboarding. It's awesome to see how you girls are just improving and giving the guys a run for their money. But also, every rider has their mojo. They have their way of, preparing. You can see some of them on the beach with their music. Some of them, go out a little bit further out to the back and just relax and kind of get into that sweet spot to then to be able to perform as best as they can.
Yeah, no, that's true. If you go here, you have the choppy weather, the choppy waves, and you need to ride the spot for a bit, and then you figure out how it works. And I think we all do that. We all train a couple of days before to get used to the spot, and I feel comfortable with it because I've been here a couple of times. So I'm ready to compete.
Yeah, we can consider you almost local. You've been hanging out here a while, so it's good. I mean, Tarifa, since the beginning of kiteboarding, has been a mecca, and it has been a place where world champions like Alex Pastore and Whaley, Gisela Pulido, Bruno also hung out here a lot in the days, and I think it's a really good place to train due to its variety. So it can be either 60 knots blowing strong, or it can be 15 knots like this. Anything can happen, and then it has that vibe. It's dangerously good also on the nightlife, so hopefully you guys and girls are going to be relaxing during the comp, but I know in the end it's this is all about having fun, enjoying the town, and getting to know the culture.
Yeah, exactly. And I think about the training here, it's you can train in Brazil for 1 month and learn everything on the lagoon, but doing it in the competition is a whole different thing. So I think for me the good balance would be go 2 months to Brazil, learn every trick, try new things, and then go to Tarifa. When you can do it here, you can do it anywhere in the world. So that's the perfect balance of training.
So it's almost like you learn to drive on the national roads and then you go straight into the motorway. So yeah, well there you have. That's the top tips here from people on how to train and get ready. And here we have it on our screen now. We have Phil Larcher. Looks like we might be going into sequence very soon, and I can see him getting ready. He will be the first rider up. So Phil, Liquid Force rider here from France, but actually lives here in Tarifa. So local boy is going to have some love from the crowd on there. Let's see what he can give to us.
First drinks coming in. We don't have a lot of wind, eh?
You can see it's pretty light. Juan Antonio, our race director, obviously there's a lot of heats to do. The event is very long, so we have to make sure that as soon as the conditions are suitable, we're out there, we're ready to roll. And so, it's really good also to see the riders. You can feel the motivation, feel the vibe. They want to be on the water and trying to make sure that as soon as those suitable conditions come in, they will be knocking that first trick out. Also really good this year to see, in the freestyle here for the GKA World Cup, it's great to see we have more than 20 nations here at this event, and also for the first time we actually have 3 Colombian riders, Juan Rodriguez, then we have Valentin and Nelson here for the first time, and also we have a Thai rider. So it's really good to see riders from all different nationalities here for the event. The World Tour we're getting bigger slowly and surely. I think it's great to see a tour which is joined to show the full expression of the sport that is kiteboarding and kite surfing. I think it's great to see it, starting to be under one umbrella and one roof. The GKA have been doing an awesome job this year, and it's for me, coming from Tarifa, this is my hometown, and to have all of you guys and girls here from all the different disciplines, I think it's a place where it should happen, and I'm really glad that we can share with you guys back at home and with all of you guys here on the beach.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think everyone really likes to always come to Tarifa. It's such a nice town, and everyone is like, if you ask here around in town, everyone is surfing or kiting or doing any water sports. So that's really cool. I've never felt that before in a town.
No, it's definitely there's good vibes. Spain is known for its fire, so I think it's good to see the energy, and it's definitely a kiting town. And I mean, we couldn't do this without the help of our sponsors. So we want to give a big shout out to MVMT, one of our main sponsors here, Duvel, Iron, Diputación de Cádiz, Junta de Andalucía, el excelentísimo Ayuntamiento of Tarifa, and then also Coca-Cola. Without these guys, we couldn't make this happen. And I think, the setup that we have here at this event, and the awesome, live stream booth that we've been able to hear with the nice sofa, and the views, just the crystal blue water, the really nice weather, the vibe. It doesn't get much better than this, eh, Pipa?
It doesn't really get better than this. But maybe we could have a bit more wind, that would be nice.
We could definitely have a little bit more wind. And then also, one of the main place that this event is at, which is B-World Beach House by Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia, one of the most world-renowned chefs out there, and we are right at his new location here in Tarifa. Food was pretty awesome today, and Danny's gonna come with us. He's gonna be here on Friday, sharing the event and checking it out. So really good to see all the different aspects, coming together, and all different industries coming and supporting the sport that is kitesurfing.
Yeah, it's really cool that more and more brands are gonna support kiting, and kiting is only getting bigger and bigger. So yeah, really grateful to all the sponsors that sponsored this cool event.
Yeah, I mean, thank you guys. We couldn't do it without you, and it's great to see. And this is what we're talking about. It's the crowded beaches. Everybody's just waiting. They want to see the world's best out there. Fortunately, it still looks like the wind isn't quite there yet. You can see the thermal just next to the dune. Here where we are on the beach of Valdevaqueros in Tarifa, a little bit, if you're looking at your screen now, so if you continued up the right-hand side of your beach, you would be able to see that the dune, and it produces a thermal effect. So as soon as it starts getting hot, the wind actually starts filtering in and produces the really constant 15 to 20 knots. Today, it's teasing us. It's taken a little bit of time to come in, but we're confident. There you go. That's the shot right there. So you can see what that dune does is it allows the wind to come in, produces a thermal, and just gives us those beautiful constant 15 to 20 knots. It's going to happen today. Tarifa will not fail us. We want to have the first heats out, to get those cobwebs blown away and get these boys and girls on the water.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to happen. For sure, one heat at least. And we'll see the sun is going down at 9:30 or 10, so we have some time.
So then we're definitely. So it's going to be even better because we can make it for that sunset session. So that's the golden hour. That's a good way to start off an event. Huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Tarifa also very known. It's a very kiting town. Any time of the year, there's probably 200 to 250 locals. And then when it comes to summer, the beach is completely full of kites. I think anybody in the kiting world or the kiting industry has seen that aerial shot of all of the different, all the different color mushrooms from the sky. It's quite a thing to see. And one of the main questions that a lot of people ask is, how do you not get tangled? So people, maybe you can explain. You've been here. I always just have a serious face and just go forward and right away, starboard, etc. But how do you handle when you're kiting in such a traffic location? How do you manage that?
Well, I have to be honest, I'm not always quite managing to get not tangled at the beach, but for sure, yeah, like having a straight face and like just looking where you're going really helps, because otherwise if you're like this, then the other person is going to be like this as well, and then maybe you choose the same direction and you clinch. But yeah, mostly it's like when you get tangled, mostly I get out, but it's like I think it's not that dangerous. And if it happens to you once you get tangled, just stay calm or pull your release. Like, we have a really good safety these days. I think 20 years before it was not like this at all, but now it's safe to kite, and yeah, just pull your release when it happens, and everything's gonna be fine.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's really good to see how much kiteboarding has evolved, and especially on the safety systems. I remember I started kiting in 1999, and back in the day, every single person had a Ben-Hur down the beach drag story, and it's really good to see how the brands how they've evolved, and all the R&D and all the time and effort they put into making it, plug and play, just user friendly. Only one knot, connect it to the right place. If you let go of the bar, the power ends. The safety systems, the quick releases, as they say, so it's super easy and actually makes kiting very accessible to everybody. So if anybody hasn't tried this sport, sitting here with one of the top ladies of the sport, you got to try it. It's good fun. Obviously, always go to a certified school. Make sure the first steps of your kiting, kiting knowledge and learning how to kite has to be with a school, because then they can teach you the ABC, and then you can go all the way to the Z and just have fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's really good to start with the basic and have some people that help you at the beach. And but yeah, start safe and have a fun ride with kiting. I would recommend it for sure.
That's going to be the saying: start safe and then have fun. I like it. Yeah, well, you can still see the wind's playing with us a bit. There we have Luca Pito on the shore there. All the boys just checking it out, making sure the wind's enough so they can go out. It's very borderline at the moment, but again, great to see. One of the good things about the tour and about everybody has the motivation. They know it's an important event. We're here in Tarifa. The crowds are starting to fill up on the beach. You can see there on screen James Carew just landing second in Silton on the kite surfing tour not so long ago. So congrats there to James. And it's good to see all the different disciplines together, like we were saying before. It's one big family. This is what we want, and also to be able to show the expression of what kite surfing is and what kiting is to the world. I think it's great to have an event like this.
Yeah, I think so too, definitely. And as you said, it's one big family. And off the water we are all friends, and on the water we are competitors. So that's really, really cool. And yeah, but now it looks like I see Volgorad standing on the beach, so he's like having a little break from cruising up and down. But hope the wind will kick in still.
Also, really good to see all the brands here as well. We have a really nice festival here where a lot of the brands have taken part to show all of the new gear, and big thanks out to all of them that have taken part in this event to make this happen. Because also for the general public, it's a great opportunity to be able to test all of the kites. And there you can see the hips are starting to move, the dances are starting to happen. We have mum and daughter there ready to rumble. The music is pumping. So yeah, obviously a future generation of kiting, they're getting ready from the beginning, huh? Yeah. I see like younger kids going out because when I started kiting at my home spot in
I live in the Netherlands, and then I was basically the only kid with one other person, like one other friend where I travel the world with now, so that's really cool. And we were the only ones, and now if we go to my home school, there are like so many kids, also because it's more safe now, and I understand that. So I hope more and more kids are gonna ride. That would be really cool to see.
Yeah, it's great, and also you can see a lot of the brands like Duotone F1. They're actually doing Grom searches, which it's great to see how in the end the youngsters, they are the future of the sport, and it's good to see how the brands can see that and help out. So they do Grom searches. I think Duotone did one in Cauípe in Brazil where they did a small little competition, and then a couple of the top riders from that competition got sponsored. Was that correct?
Yeah, it was like Duotone went to Cauípe, and of course in Brazil you have like more like poor children that never had a chance to kite, or they go to the lagoon basically, and every time they go to the lagoon they borrow a kite from a person, and that's how they get good, like that's how they get professional in it in the end. And so that was really cool to see, and you saw really like kids that were ripping, so much talent is there. So Duotone thought, hey, let's find 2 kids to sponsor, but not only in with gear, but also with English, and because English is very important language, otherwise they can't communicate with the rest of the world. So as soon as they do their English class and that kind of stuff, it's going well, then they still get their sponsoring up. So I think that's, for me, that was one of the coolest projects of this year.
No, it's great. It's really good to see. And there you go. There's the smiles. You can see the Colombians and the Dominicans ready. These guys and girls, they always have a smile. They're ready to rumble. They love the music. They love the party. They just create the vibe. You can see Posito Martinez there with the yellow shirt. He is in the first heat. For me, one of the most talented riders. He has a front blind mode where he just completely, pretty much goes into a tantrum. It extends upside down. For me, it's one of the favorite moves I see on the competitions.
Yeah, for me, like Posito, also in big air. I saw him with King of the Air. He's such a good rider in both disciplines, freestyle and big air. And for me, if you can do both, like Liam as well, such a good style. And that's really cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, that is what we're looking for. We are looking for the most complete rider out there. The world champion is the person that is good at everything. They can take the chops, kill the flats, go in the big wins, and then be able to perform also in the light. It's all about creating that, that complete package when it comes to a ride. And I think also, from a brand's perspective, you're with one of the biggest brands and you're one of their main ambassadors. I think it's super important. A saying that comes up a lot is they want a champion on and off the water.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, you have to be champion on and off the water. It's not like only if you do good at kiting, then you can do whatever you want. No, it's not like this. And I try to do my best, like on and off the water, and I think it's working out well.
It definitely looks like it's working out. People, I know Till and Philip and Tommy and all the guys are very happy with you back at the HQ, so I can guarantee that. So actually, going on that topic again, why didn't you give us a rundown? You're a professional athlete, professional kiter. What is a day of a life in Pipa?
A day in my life. Okay, that's funny. Well, I make vlogs on YouTube, so you can actually watch it online. And but a regular day, like today, for example, you wake up, you go to the inscription, do skipper's meeting, and then you try to relax, because I sometimes get really nervous, and it doesn't really help to compete better. But I don't compete for such a long time. But I got some experience from the youth competitions, and now in this big event, it's really cool to join the big kiters, and now I'm part of it, so that's really cool. And then you just like try to eat healthy. Well, I do eat healthy, especially in the competition. It's really important. Do some exercises, and then relax, enjoy the beach, enjoy the sun, and speak with some people on the beach. So that's basically a day in my life, and sitting on the couch with Joe.
There you go. That's the dream. That's the full thing. I mean, it's great to see, and also, like you were saying, you do a lot of training off of the water as well, both for for media, for promoting with your vlogs, which are really good, by the way. Been watching a few of those, and I think again, it's that complete package. on the training side, like we've actually started to see coming into the kiting world, especially with some of the younger riders, we see like coaches like Fabio Ingrosso, where they're starting to, the teams, the French, they have a very solid team, travel together, train together. There's kind of a system, and then I know you've been doing some training as well. How do you see this? This must be really nice to be able to have that kind of support on and off water. And do you really notice the difference as a professional athlete?
Yeah, for sure I feel a difference. Before I competed I was reckless, I was just thought if I go big, it's gonna be fine. I can do those tricks whenever, But it's not working like this. As soon as there's a competition, you think you can do your tricks like in a training, but as soon as you're gonna land them in a competition, that's where it gets hard. So to get your mental part as well, you have to be like as good as mentally, as good as physically. So before I didn't really notice, I thought my mental part is good, but as soon as I get nervous, I got stressed, or if I miss my first trick, I'm like calculating, okay, now if I crash this attempt, what I'm gonna do. So I have a mental coach now as well, and that really helps me out. And physically, I have a coach in Holland as well, so if I have something, I can go there. He gives me like good massage, and it helps me with the food, because everything besides only kiting underwater has to be like pretty precise now. And I think that's where it gets like more professional these days, that everyone is actually doing, besides kiting, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's like we say a lot, is there's a lot of talent, but it's channeling that talent and finding the right sync and the right mojo, and putting all the gears in the right order is what makes that watch tick, and what makes produces the goods. And definitely there's so many youngsters coming up, and like you say, places like Brazil and everything is you can just see so much of the talent. And well, Pipa, thank you very much. It's been been great to have you here, and I can just see joining us here we have Maxime Chablot. This is also, as you were just talking about the talents, this guy is also an amazing skier. He is junior world champion at freeride skiing. Is that right, Maxime?
Yeah, that's right.
So Maxime, you actually you stay in Tarifa quite a while. I've seen you here quite a few times, and you're used to these kind of conditions. Like seeing you in Gran Canaria, you're one of the lighter riders, and you're one of the very technical riders. I still do not know how you can pull off doubles in 2 meters of height. But how do you see in the conditions like this? Does this favor you? Do you prefer stronger wind? What do you prefer?
To be honest, I'm getting more and more a rider that likes stronger winds, because I don't know, when I'm overpowered, I pretty much ride always better. But with Switzerland being more or less my home spot, I rode light winds my whole life, so I'm kind of used to it now. And doing doubles on 2 meter heights, it's just commitment. After a while, you've done so many that it just seems normal to you, and you can just pull it through.
Yeah, so I think that's the word. It's definitely the commitment to be able to pull off those moves. And also, so I was talking to Fabio before. Fabio is he's your coach. We were just mentioning with people. I think it's really good to see how the sport is getting more and more professional. And explain to us how it helps to have someone. Fabio, all of us have known him. He comes from very good rider, also comes from the kite skiing. I've seen him jump off of cliffs. He's absolutely nuts. And then when it comes to the physical training and the way he is with you, explain to us a little bit how having someone like that and a coach helps your kiting.
Yeah, well, for me, coming from basically alpine skiing, it was pretty much always mandatory to me to have a coach when you're on an international level. So then I met Fabio back in 2015, I think, and basically that's where everything started. And he's always helping me in everything. And the good thing about having a coach is that it's really someone that you can really trust all the time. You can have good friends that are gonna help you on the beach launching a kite, or are gonna show you the scores on their phones or something, but you will never have a rider that's gonna be 100% here only for you. So that's where the coach is very useful. And in training as well, he pushes us to train really specific for competition, which you never really do when you're just between riders. So that's what he helps me with a lot, and I mean Mika as well, and we're kind of the two main riders for him. And now we have Jamaria that joins us on pretty much all our trips as well, and different riders coming and going. And I think all the riders that actually trained with Fabio progressed a lot, and that's not like, it's not surprising. I mean, he's a really good coach, and I don't regret 1 second training with him.
No, for sure. I mean, Fabio does a great job, and he has you guys in line. Like, I saw you here. You were doing some practice heats. He had, he's there on the buzzer, making sure everything's in line. And like you say, to have a dedicated person to be able to help you out, I think it's super important, and must release a little bit of the tension and the pressure, because certain aspects are there. Like you were saying before, people, different people have different ways. I can presume probably also there's people that want to be a little bit more chilled and a little bit more relaxed. I think it's finding that magic, that magic sauce, the secret sauce that makes it work. And I mean, interested to see, you are probably one of the hardest women kiters, pushing the envelope. You're nuts when it comes to strong wind, and from such a young age to see so much talent and the mindset you guys have, it's really good seeing. Like when I was competing before, you guys are just getting younger and younger and going bigger and bigger. What motivates you, seeing like riders like Maxime, both of you are probably some of the strongest youngsters on tour. What motivates you to push and go as hard as the guys? Because I know you guys want to go harder.
Yeah, when I was young, I actually played football for a long time. And yeah, I've always been playing football with guys. And then once I've been selected for like the nationals, and I saw women's playing football, and I was like, I just enjoyed playing soccer with the guys more, because it was faster, it was more physical contact, and it was more radical. And with kiting, I saw like, basically now women's are getting more and more on the water, so you see a lot of women's. But before, I used to look up to like people that I saw in my home spot, and they were mostly guys. So I was like, I want to kite like them. And I think it's really good. I think all the girls are really pushing it now to kite hard and go like super big. So that's really cool to see.
No, definitely. I mean, you girls are pushing the envelope, and I can't wait to see what you can do at the end of the year. It's definitely going to be a very interesting 2019. Then Maxime, also we've been seeing some new maneuvers coming from you guys. We've been seeing those back mobile mossies, and I think, like you were saying with the coaching, a lot of the videos and a lot of the progression is done on dedication and trying to trick after trick, recording, doing it. That move, recently seen it from you. Explain to us a little bit how you A, came up with it, and B, how you go into doing a new move.
So yeah, the back 1.5 osmosis was basically in Sicily, where we had 1 week of training there, and the wind wasn't that good. Like we were pretty unlucky with the wind conditions, so it was quite light. I was riding my 13 and a bit underpowered, and Jamaria was on 12, I think. And Jamaria just tells me, come on dude, let's do back 1.5 osmosis challenge. So I was at first I was like, dude, there is no way, because for a trick like that, what you need is a lot of slack in your kite, which is really hard to get when the wind is light, because you need a big pop and you can't get that. And actually saw him try one, and he got pretty close first try. So I tried one, and also I was like, I had my arm a bit too much bent, and Aaron told me, dude, you got it, you can just extend your arms and you got the bar. So then we tried again and again and again, and yeah, I think after like six tries, I landed the first one, and then Jamaria kept on trying and landed it on the 9th try, which is actually, it doesn't sound like a lot, but 6 and 9 tries in kiting are actually are long. Like it takes you almost half an hour to an hour to get those 9 tries in. So yeah, but it was definitely really good fun. I mean, it motivated me to maybe try to do a little social media contest in videos, trying to do challenges, like trick challenges, where 2 riders meet up in one spot and basically say, okay, let's try this trick, and the first one who lands it, he wins.
Yeah, I think it's like you're saying, it's all about the motivation, and I think you guys have a really good group. And like you were saying, Gianmaria Coccoluto from Italy, well, originally from Roma, and now he's actually living in Sicily. So I'm presuming that was his home spot that you guys were there. It's about the motivation. If you have a compadre, a friend, and a competitor next to you pushing you guys are just going to go higher and higher, and I think that's important for any sport. I mean, watching some of the skiing, especially that last run you had for that free ride contest, I mean, you're nuts. It's absolutely crazy, but I presume it must be the same. You see someone going for a line and you see them do it, and you know, adrenaline gets pumping, some beers, contests are on the line, and by the end of the day you just have to push as hard as you can and go for it. I think that, you know, it's a super important aspect of the sport to be riding with people who are, you know, push you in both on and off the water. So it's still, I can see foils out there at the moment, so still not quite there yet. There you can see a really nice panoramic shot of the competition area. You can see all of the brands there on the left hand side of your screen, so really good to see all of the brands you know, present, helping, pushing. You know, the GKA is very involved with the industry. I think it's a super important aspect that, you know, in the end the industry is pushing the sport forward, and, you know, you guys are the brand ambassadors, the heroes, the people that, you know, represent those brands and their values. And, you know, talking about brands, like Maxime, you come from F1, and recently, you know, literally after Gran Canaria you were jumping on a plane, you were going to Madagascar, I think, for 2020 shoot, probably, if I'm not mistaken. How was that? I know you probably can't tell us a lot of the info. We want to keep the secret so we can keep everybody anxious to get those new F1 products, but give us a little inside info on that shoot.
Yeah, that shoot was an amazing shoot. I mean, with F1 we always go to try to find the most beautiful places. We never go to do a shoot like in known places, like for example Tarifa or Dakla or something. And yeah, this year was a bit harsh to find the dates where all the riders were free, because we have a lot of competitions. And so yeah, we flew out to Madagascar between two competitions to a paradise island. I mean, it was pretty much almost one of the most beautiful places I've been my whole life. And yeah, I mean, F1 did a really good job for the 2020 gear. It looks really good. And I think you guys can't wait to see it. It looks really cool.
There you go. So definitely make sure you check out that 2020 F1 gear. You know, I actually had to bring Liam's ball bag back from Gran Canaria because you guys were pretty much thrown on the next plane. And, you know, F1, all of us know riders like me too, Etienne Lodge, all of the guys, you know, been a very solid company from day one. And, you know, Rafael Salas himself, a big supporter of the tour, big thanks to him and to all of the brands to, you know, making these events and this tour happen. So I can see also, we can see some of the strapless riders starting to rolling. You know, the kite surf competition would be starting tomorrow, so we can see, again, great to see all of the different disciplines coming underneath one roof. I mean, both of you guys, you're some of the younger, let's say the younger generation of the tour, and also some of the better representatives of the new style. So going for that complete aspect, both of you do big air. Both of you absolutely kill it when it comes to freestyle. If you could choose in between both, I'd say both. Would you guys agree to be able to, you know, to have a contest like it is here? You know, Tarifa is an open format, so if the wind does pick up, it means that 2 of your 6 or 7 tricks will be counted by Big Ed. Do you guys like this format? Do you see it's a format that is good for the sport?
Yeah, I would definitely prefer to have a mix, as you say. Like, I think we both fit in a mixed event, and it fits our riding. And I would love to. I train both at home because I come from Holland. It's windy there, and yeah, I think in a normal training you do the same. If it's for freestyle, you train freestyle, and if the wind picks up, you go for loops. So it's not different in a competition. So why would you force a handle pass in 40 knots? While you also can do a huge loop. So I prefer to have that mixed event.
How about you, Maxime?
Well, for me, like, freestyle is my main passion. I mean, I've been training for this since I started kiting. And big air, I mean, it looks really cool. I love doing it as well. Like, in 40 knots, I never go freestyle. I mean, it's also one of the reasons why I almost never use my 6 or 7 meter, because when it's strong, we just take actually almost bigger kite to just go send some loops. And I really progressed in big air over the last few years because I knew that there was this aspect would come, and I'm still not the best at it, I have to say. I have some progression to do on my kite control and stuff, but I'm getting there. I mean, I'm training for it, and I think it's really good for the sport. When you're on the when there are people on the beach and you're doing a massive loop right in front of the beach, there are always more people impressed by it than when you do like a double handle pass. But I think the freestyle really needs to stay in the tour because that's actually the technical part of kiting, and what makes it really hard to be a kiter.
Okay, so touching a little bit now on judging format. So, as you say, for freestyle, what judges are looking for is power, execution, hitting all the different aspects into one jump. More quality over quantity. It's we have a panel of 5 judges, some of the top guys in the world, and then, like we were saying, it's either 6 or 7 trick attempts, and the top 4, you always are aiming for that perfect 40-point score. I mean, seeing in Gran Canaria, seeing in some of the moves as it was lighter, we were actually seeing in a lot of the quality, how you guys really extend every move, and you literally, if you watch that maneuver in slow-mo, how every little detail counts. So when it's marginal conditions, let's talk a little bit about grabs. Let's say that's one of the additions you would add to a trick. How do you see it's being scoring? The judges, they are taking that into account, the power. How do you deal with that, Pipa?
Yeah, well, for example, if you add a grab, it's logic that you show a lot more control, and it's just perfect. If you add a grab or something to it, you definitely get a higher score, and I think you deserve a higher score. But because if someone does do a grab with it, it's just like you have so much more time in your head, and you're like, you have it straight, you're really comfortable with the trick. So of course you get a bigger score, and if you do a butt check, you can see like your score is getting like maybe in half, or if it's a really bad butt check, it's even a crash, So it's the judges are really doing a really good job with the scoring.
And how about you, Maxime? Like, there's a really good thing there. People has been touching on the butt checks and the crashes, and especially, how the judges really penalize if you're not going for that perfect landing, but then are lenient. If you just landed a backside 317 super powered, where you obviously are going to touch the water. How do you take those things into account when you're going for a maneuver?
I think to me, it's always most important is to be clean. I mean, you can do a huge trick even if you're 10 meters high, or I don't know, like humongous, and if you crash, it's a crash, and if you do a big butt check, you will get a small score. So I think this year we also added, we kind of like had a vote and added more, basically not more points, but a bit more value to the grabs and to the style, which is actually really cool, because then you can see different style riders, like for example Aaron Rossley or Stefan Spiesberger, that can actually don't have that many doubles, but still can push and get it through those rounds. And myself, I'm also working on grabs. I mean, I think grabs are really stylish, and if you look at other sports, you almost never see a jump without a grab. I mean, skiing, freestyle, freeride, a bit less, but freestyle, they always grab during their jumps. Snowboarding, they always grab during their jumps. And grabs are hard to do, but actually sometimes they also help you doing a trick. I mean, I have recently, my KGBs were really bad, and so I tried to do some KGBs with, like, it's called a melon grab. It's behind your board, and it actually gave me more stability in the air, which actually gave me the possibility to spin faster and then go for a KGB 5 almost easier. So I'm surely gonna try this trick in this comp. Landed a few in my last trainings, and hopefully I can pull it through. I think if I can pull it through, it can be a really good score.
I love how you say KGB5 melon grab is easy. Yeah, real easy. I mean, they make it look easy, but yeah, definitely KGB is also, I think, add in that grab. Actually, you know, KGB by stopping in the middle there will allow you to spin faster. So, you know, it's all about, like we were saying, it's all about finding what sinks in and what skill, you know, works for everybody. So yeah. Once again, you know, Pipa, Maxime, thank you very much for being here with us. It's been great, you know, getting in the inside, and wish you the best luck here on the competition. I'll be watching very, very closely and talking a lot. So yeah, good luck out there, and thank you for being here.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Stay tuned.
Bye guys, thank you. So there you have it, Pipa Maisil and Maxime Chablos, two of the, you know, most talented youngsters that we have out there. Both of them absolutely ripping and, you know, pushing the envelope harder and harder. Maxime, you know, bringing new tricks every time, and Pipa, you know, just goes full on when it comes to windy. I can see some more riders coming up here in the booth. I can see one of my friends from a long time ago here. We have Stefan Spielberg, who's going to be walking in with me. Stefan, how's it going?
Hello. Hey Joe, thanks, really good. Just yeah, still waiting for the wind to come in, but we still have a few days in front of us. Even today might be still happening, so we'll see.
Awesome, yeah, hopefully the wind will come in. It definitely looks like it's not quite there yet. You know, we are looking for those suitable conditions, and I can see also Rita Arnal from Spain is coming in. She is here. Hola, ¿qué tal?
Hola chicas, ¿qué tal?
So hi everybody, great to have you here. You know, nice little booth we have here, the sofa, just for you guys to hang out and be able to see the competition. You know, you guys have been on tour for a while. You know, Stefan, you're one of the most you know, valued riders in duotone kiteboarding. You know, doing the videos. I know you just came back from Hood River. Doing the 2020 photo shoot. How was it? I know a lot of traveling there. You're only there 10 days. I know you can't tell us any details because it's all the 2020 gear, but how was it? You know, how do you manage with the traveling in between contests?
Yeah, the photo shoot was really good. I mean, it's always like a really good trip to go with the whole team, and it's really like a special atmosphere. You know, we kind of just there doing like all we can for 10 days, kiting non-stop pretty much, but also like everyone's really motivated and keen to get the best clips, to get really sick photos that we can use. Magazines, trying to just really get the maximum out of it with the new gear, obviously, and that's also really cool to kind of start the new year every year with new gear, you know, and kind of like really get into it. And everyone is really excited about what's coming the next season, and yeah, it's always a really good trip, but also a lot of traveling, yeah, like you said. But you know, for like actually having to do that as a job, I think every one of us is happy to deal with the hassle of travel, and we get to kite, and that's most important.
Definitely better than an office, no doubt about it. And Rita, I know saw you in Gran Canaria, just kind of, you know, you're also, I think we can probably call you almost local here in Tarifa. You've come here a lot, and congratulations on. You've just come from Gran Canaria. Really good event. You were absolutely killing. I think you had one of the highest scoring tricks of a hard attack. Very proud. How are you liking the conditions here, and are you ready to rumble?
Yes, I'm ready to rumble. I mean, I like Tarifa a lot. I used to live here as well in the beginning of my kite career, where I could not afford traveling too far away. So I was living here in Tarifa, and I like this place so much. It has a big place in my heart. And yeah, the conditions, I mean, Poniente, it's as well, it's used to similar conditions as I have in my home spot, close to Barcelona. So I like this light winds. It is like in Gran Canaria, you know, I'm lightweight. But yeah, I mean, it's super nice to have an event here with all the people, and thanks to the organization for doing this huge event here, and I'm very looking forward.
Yeah, no, it's really good to see you guys here, and obviously, you know, you're Spanish as well, so this is home ground. We want to see you pushing hard, and you know, it's great. I think it's great to see also, as mentioned with Pipa and with Maxime, all the disciplines coming together, and to be able to show the public and people who have never seen kiting before what, you know, the experience of kiteboarding and kite surfing. No matter if it's on a surfboard, a twin tip, or foil, no matter what, is just to have fun, use the air, use the sea, get your head wet, and just go out there.
Right. I think it's a good opportunity for people that doesn't know kiteboarding much to see the different disciplines and to understand different concepts and like what we can do in different wind conditions, right? So yeah, having strapless freestyle, maybe big air. It's a great opportunity to show not on the people at the beach, but around the world what we can do.
And Stefan, also, talking to Maxime and people before, we were going into having a little conversations on grabs. For me, you are one of the most stylish riders out there, and grabs, that slim grab that you have, everybody knows it. We've seen it on all your videos. You're very, there's a big difference in between a tap and a grab, and you definitely, it looks like you're going to hold on there until the end of the trick. Do you really see, like, when it comes to judging criteria, we're all about quality over quantity, and those little details really do make a big difference, eh?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's always been a bit like if what I was focusing on. I really kind of I'm watching a lot of like skating and not much like skating that is happening. A lot of grabs, especially in street. But maybe like snowboarding, for example, you don't really see anything without a grab there. And for me, it's something that I really enjoy doing. It just makes a trick look way different. For me, it's just really stands out way more to actually watch someone doing let's say an S-mob or something with a proper grab than just doing a simple S-mob. And yeah, I think also in competition it's also sometimes hard actually for the judges to properly see a grab and to properly see how long you're actually holding a grab. So I think that's why grabs in competition are still a bit of a it's hard to score like a lot better, but we are trying and focusing on it to actually give it a value, and I think that's definitely how it should be. And yeah, especially for videos, I mean, for me I really enjoy filming and shooting, and I think there you can get really technical. You can really change a S-mob or something like 7-8 times up. You can a different grab is gonna make a simple S-mob like suddenly crazy hard, and that's something I really enjoy doing. I don't really try to add too many spins. I just try to kind of keep it simple sometimes and add a few grabs here and there, and makes the things way harder too and enjoyable for myself.
It's definitely got to be enjoyable for yourself, and yeah, definitely enjoyable for the public. Yeah, like I judged in Gran Canaria, and the judging panel, you can really see we are looking for that simplicity that you're saying and that style, and really, instead of doing kind of like back in the days in snowboarding, it was just a 10, a 10, a 10, a 10. We want to see that quality, and like guys like Aaron Rosley, who they were getting 6.5 averages on maybe a 5.0 trick, because they're adding those different aspects, and you really can see that, yes, okay, doubles are important, big moves are important, but also if you do a very well executed move with style, dedication, wow factor, all the tick all the boxes, the judge is going to score it. Which Rita, like I was saying before, you were ripping in Gran Canaria, and I think you were one of the girls that got the highest scores, because especially you're very explosive. You come off, you take off with a lot of speed, full commitment, no doubt. It's do or die with you. And I think especially on the women's kiteboarding, are you girls also pushing for that?
Well, yes. I mean, the level of the girls, it's increasing a lot. All the girls are riding very hard, and that's what we are looking for. I mean, instead of adding 180 more in the tricks, we want to add more power, more commitment, more like better landing, kite position. We have all these other things, and we keep that on mind. And yeah, we definitely pushing hard, and yeah. And in Gran Canaria, I could do what I like, because in strong conditions, it's more tricky to go full commitment. Like for me, it's like I want to prevent injuries. You know, I touch wood, I never had an injury. You know, but yeah, with the strong winds and gusty winds, it's harder. You know, so. It's more. There's a big risk, but yeah, I mean it's a part of the game. You have to risk every time you go to the water.
You definitely do have to risk it. I mean, you girls are pushing the envelope. It's great to see, how far women's kiteboarding has evolved, and you are giving the guys a run for their money. The heats you guys are pulling off some of the movers. We have, like Michaela de Sol. She is been absolutely killing it. She's, I think, pushing it a step forward, and all of you girls are just going for it. And I think it's really good to see, and especially like when you're in the judging panel, to be able to see your attention to detail. It's you are trying to stretch that leg a little bit more to be able to pull it off, and I guess that you have to do a lot of training outside of the water as well. I know, Rita, you do a lot of yoga. You're actually supported by Osho Sports that really help you out and make sure that you always have the right stuff, the right gear to do it. I've been seeing a lot of the women riders, they really starting to involve yoga into it, and more. How has this helped you?
Well, right, so in the beginning I was very focused on training in the water, but after many years I was like, okay, there's something missing as an athlete, so yoga actually brings me a lot of peace in competitions, a lot of balance on the tricks, a lot of more control in all the body, and as well in the gym, fortalecer. Yeah, to make stronger all parts of the body, and the ones that you don't work that much with kiting in the water, then you work on it in the gym and with the yoga. And yeah, all the girls we are liking it. With time you see the evolution of and what you get from doing yoga and gym. You see it helps a lot. And yeah, since I started doing all of these, it's been a year already, and I'm loving it.
And Stefan, also yourself, I've seen you do quite a bit of CrossFit. You're also very heavily into skateboarding. What kind of outside water stuff do you do to keep, obviously, your body in optimum conditions? And in the end, it's to become a better athlete and also to stay an athlete in one piece.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, basic fitness training, just keeping yourself in really good shape is pretty much a must anyway for myself, at least. I kind of always felt like if I stay fit and healthy, I can just go on for way longer, and that's kind of how I especially feel now. I'm not really part of the youngest generation anymore either, so and that really helps me. I mean, you can really extend your career actually by just staying really healthy and trying to not get injured, and obviously training helps you with preventing injuries. And I mean, skating is probably not the best sport to prevent injuries, but you still gotta do something that is fun outside of kiting as well, and I have a lot of fun doing that. And
If there's no wind, enjoy other sports.
Yeah, you have to, like Rita's just saying here, if there's no wind, you got to enjoy other sports. And Stefan, I've been watching him skate. Or you pretty much always land on your feet, so I think you'll be okay there as long as you land. Well, maybe that's the videos. You never know. But I think it is super important. And talking to some of the guys and girls before, it's really good to see how kiting is getting more and more professional. In the end, you are professional athletes. You're machines, and everything from warming up to stretching to nutrition to getting everything dialed in and having that routine. One of the things, especially when I used to compete, traveling always does mix it up. And I mean, you guys and girls travel way more than we used to. How do you fit in training regimes with the travel?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, traveling is pretty intense on the body especially as well, but I think you kind of have to, I kind of just go with it, if I know I'm getting to a trip now where I'm gonna be on the water a lot, you're just gonna try to really get loose, like loosen up your body after traveling, and like just stretch a bit, and try not to get super stiff even with all the kiting. And then also, if you don't spend a lot of time on the water, like it happens sometimes if you are, I don't know, at a competition or something where you have absolutely no wind or something, you just gotta really adapt a bit. And I think that's really part of it. And then we also have the off season where we can really like focus on what we're gonna get better in, and it works pretty well for me. And yeah,
definitely works. I mean, you've been at this for years and years and still, killing it out there, and it definitely sees that those routines work. And Rita, like, I think in the last 3 months I've maybe seen you go to America maybe 3 times, and then every time, I don't know how you go from San Pedro Pescador, which is in the north, which is like an hour and a half away from Barcelona. So either you have a very fast private jet, or I don't know how you do it, but are we going to see you doing yoga in the middle of an airplane or something? How does that work?
Yeah, I've been traveling a lot in the 3 months and the past of the beginning of the year as well. I spend long times away from home, and it's kind of it's very hectic. It's a lot going on, and if you want to keep this in the long term, and being healthy and keeping your mind straight and stuff, like you really need to have your goals straight. And as I said, with yoga, it helps me a lot to stay calm, relaxed, and like just focus on what matters. And when I'm at home, I really try to take it easy and just take care of myself, because traveling and knowing days, you stress, and then up and down, carrying bags, meeting people, and which I love. I love to do all of this on the traveling, but you give a lot, and then it's good to find a moment to give back to yourself. So yeah, between Barcelona and San Pedro Pescado, it's family time. I got my parents. I don't care. I take it easy.
Yeah, talking about family time, I mean, you come from a family of water people. Both your parents, they've been Spanish champions in windsurfing. Your dad has an awesome T1 Volkswagen that I've seen pictures of. I think it's a super important aspect, that having the family behind you and push you in, which is talking to some of the guys before some of these Grom search, some kids that don't have such an opportunity and have to be able to have the support or just the motivation behind you. I think, as youngsters coming up, and you guys have grown up with that passion inside, I think it's a very important aspect, and it's really good to see the sport helping in that way.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, especially now, I think brands and like there is more people getting behind young kiters and or like riders that are actually coming out of, like, let's say Brazil, for example. Like we had it with duotone last year. There was a Grom search in the lagoon in Cambuco and Cauipe, and I think it's pretty cool. We see there is so much talent everywhere around the world, but not everyone really has the opportunity and possibilities to just travel. And without traveling, you're not really, you have to get out and you have to make a name for yourself. And I think it's cool to see that brands are getting behind this and helping kids out and helping them to learn English, helping them with gear, and it's gonna help them. And who knows, one of them will probably be world champ here one day, and we see it right now with Bebe since a few years already, and it's cool to see.
Yeah, it is great to see, and I think it's all about also using all of the conditions and trying all the different aspects of the sport. Like, mentioning your parents again, I know your dad has thousands and thousands of kilometers on the foil, which, we can see here today as the wind's a little lighter. Foiling's actually been coming into the aspect of the sport. It's always been around, but I think over the last, let's say, season or couple of seasons, it's becoming quite a big, niche part of the sport, and a lot of the brands are really pushing forward on it. Seeing you got one of your new slingshot foils. Obviously, living in Barcelona, San Pedro, you're going to be using that a lot because it's not that windy. Have you brought it here or only your competition gear?
Yeah, here I only brought my competition gear. I want to focus full on freestyle. My friend Tarifa was like, okay, let's go for a foiling session. I'm like, yeah, that could be nice, but what if we get injured with this big wing because it's dangerous. But yeah, at home I have my foil at home, and I love to foil. I mean, this last weekend, I did foil 2 days out of 3 and 1 day freestyle, so I can combine both disciplines. And yeah, I mean, light winds, there's no problem anymore because you can enjoy being out there with the foil. And I think, yeah, it's pretty big now because brands have been pushing it a lot and investing money on the foils and giving best products out in the market. So yeah, I think it's something that's coming big.
Yeah, it's really impressive to see. I think now there literally is no excuse not to be on the water. I mean, you know, some of the people, especially, one of the really good things that the brands have done, and it's probably the goal of the brands, is the plug and play. So the USB stick, it's just, you know, get everything together, go on the water, you know, user friendly and super easy. And, you know, seeing some of the new foils out there, it's pretty easy to get up and just ride. And I think the flying sensation, and, you know, here in Tarifa, I know it sounds ironic, but normally it's quite windy. Not today. Normally it is quite windy, but the sensation of just silence, like when it's super light wind, you see the water is super glassy, and just to be able to fly across it, it's quite impressive. And it's a completely a new aspect, and to be able to go from one beach to another, and just, you know, kilometers and kilometers. Like I said, your dad, thousands and thousands. Does he ever go home?
He goes out for 4 hours. Yeah, he goes out for 4 hours and then he comes back. His watch, it says like last year 5,000 kilometers around the Roses Bay, and he will go with 8 knots, no problem, no matter what wind it is. Like a bit of tiny gust, he will go out. And yeah, he's like the man of the bay. Like, he gets a lot of windy days with the foil.
Yeah, definitely. So like I said, no excuses. Well, thank you very much, guys, for being here with us. Stefan, Rita, great to have you. Can't wait to see you on the water. It's definitely going to be a very good event. The wind is going to pick up over the next few days. We are going to see these girls and guys absolutely ripping. We're still on standby at the moment, but very shortly we are going to go to the presentation ceremony of the event here. So looks like we're going to call it a minute here. So once again, Stefan, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Rita, thank you very much. Muchas gracias. And I'll see you guys soon.
Yes, gracias a todos. Ciao.
Thank you, guys. Welcome back, everybody. So that is it for day one here at the GKA Kite World Cup in Tarifa, the Tarifa Kite Pro 2019. Unfortunately, the wind was teasing, didn't come up to enough for the conditions to be suitable. We had a great opening ceremony, you know, more than 30 nations, almost 90 riders from all over the world. It's really good to see how this sport is progressing. We're just getting more and more people from all different countries involved in it. Great to see all the flags out, everybody, you know, representing their countries to make sure that they, you know, leave their mark here on the Spanish territory. So we will be back tomorrow with the live stream, with interviews, and we're going to be having interviews with some of the riders at 1 o'clock. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. And I'm Josie Ashner, and look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.